Hey guys, Melly Spirit here. How y'all doing? It's been a while, but I wanted to basically update you guys on what has been going on in the last couple of months. One, I've been slowly getting my house together. Still some boxes still to unpack, but things are getting together. Possibly maybe in this future I might be moving in again. This place kind of freaks me out when the wind is blowing. Only because when the wind blows, it's like, I'm like, what's going on? I don't want no earthquake or whatever sort of deal's going on outside. Oh my gosh. But I still love this place in a way. In a way, I love this place. I have made my second room as an office. You somewhat see it in this camera, somewhat can't see it in this camera, but that's quite okay. You guys can get the huge grand tour of it maybe in the future. It really depends on if I'm sticking around in this area or if I'm going to move out west. That's what's going on, but I have been unpacking, so I feel like there's a certain goal that I need to reach before I can actually move out west if I want to. Basically, would not be into California or anything like that, be out in Washington, because my brother lives out there. And that would be something there. So, let me tell you a couple of things that's been happening in my life that has been going on, and that's been keeping me from videos because there's been a ton of crap that's been going on. I know PAX East is over. I missed that because of all this crap. So, in January, I was desperately looking for a place to live. I was scared that it was getting so close to the end of January that I was really, really petrified that I was not going to find a place to live. It wasn't going to be decent enough to live in. My mom was stressing me out, and a lot of that was getting on me and building on me and making me feel really down in the dumps. So somebody housing moving is supposed to be there to help you to get on your feet, to get out in the world. That's why I moved into it, because I was told by a friend, like, this is a good place to start, like, your adventure of moving out into the adult world. I thought it would be a great place to start. It's not really a great place to start. It tells you a little bit like, hey, this is how much you can afford each month. But in the fact, I feel like it's a ripoff in some line of the specs, because there should be a max cap, in my opinion, of how much they should be able to rent to you. Because if they're supposed to help you to get on your feet, they're doing a poor job of getting people out on their feet. I'm sorry to say that, but it is. It is the truth. Because if you're going to kick somebody out, at least have the courtesy to help them find a place to live. Because I didn't have that courtesy. I didn't have that courtesy whatsoever. I was just basically told that, hey, you make too much. You have to leave. And I'm like, how the hell do I make too much? I work at this place that doesn't pay me enough. I don't get paid enough at this place. This place is where I'm living right now. I'm lucky to be able to find a decent enough place to basically live. But it's nice enough. It has a lot, and I mean a lot of work needs to get done. But it's decent enough where I can have my cat with me. It's big enough than where I was living at. So in a way, I'm really excited about living here. Plus, I was terrified too, but excited to be living here. But yeah, that's what's been happening. I'm still kind of salty with them. Let's put it that way. I stayed in a professional way of dealing with them, but I stayed professional. It just, here I can like vent it out to you guys and you can take it as it is. But yeah, I'm still very salty with them. I did manage to get January's rent back because they did charge me for that. And my security deposit. So yeah. Get me, because that's a clean girl. So before I officially moved out of that place, I saved someone's life. Shocking, right? I saved somebody's life. I actually performed CPR on somebody. And his name was Joe. I don't know his last name. I don't know his first name. But his name is Joe, and he was having a heart attack where I worked, and I had to rush. Basically rush people from one direction so things can get going, get management up there. Basically, I work in retail, okay? I'm gonna put that right out there. I work in retail. Retail is one of those jobs where people treat you like shit, and you have to smile and wave. But yeah, I work in retail, and this guy was having a heart attack, and I was being rushed by a coworker that they need a member of management. I didn't know the reason why. I didn't know the reason why behind it. But they were rushed. They rushed over to me. They said they needed a member of management. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? Okay. What's going on? What do you need a member of management? Of course, in my mind, you know, you think irate a customer, or somebody's upset with something. You don't think the worst case scenario when she's telling me that she needs a member of management. You don't think the worst case scenario. It turns out I have to, you know, you have to probe a little bit. So it turns out that this gentleman was having a heart attack in the vision center. So I'm like freaking out just a tiny bit because I'm like, okay, gotta get a member of management, gotta get a cold white. So I'm trying to, okay, after I paged and got people to the place, I went over to Vision Center. I stood there because I don't know, I needed to assess the situation. I don't know if this person was bleeding. I don't know if he was hurt. I didn't know the whole entire horror story yet. So, for what I know, I was asked by the Vision Center's manager, does anybody know CPR? And I took CPR. I had to take it for my college. The college that I went to is, I'm not gonna let out that detail, but it was a requirement that I needed to take to basically help anybody in need. I've not done this profession because I can't pass a board, unfortunately. I've lost some of my notes, which is preventing me a lot, and I have a hard time remembering definitions of diseases. And that's what's going on in my neck of the world. But that's basically my learning disability, which prevents me to understanding words, which is a lot of things that, which is terrible. But it doesn't prevent me of having fun. Doesn't prevent me to trying to understand things. It just takes me a little bit longer than most people in the world. But yeah, it was a requirement to get. I also learned the kids because I thought that was a requirement that I needed too. It wasn't a requirement, but I learned it anyway. I haven't done it it's been a while since I took the course, and I'm trying to go through every single step of trying to save that gentleman's life. So, yeah. When I got to him, when I was asked, does anybody know CPR? I said, I do. I know CPR. I'm like, okay. I was nominated by my manager to go and do it. I ran over there. I said, here, take my gum, because obviously when you're in retail, chewing gum helps you breathe. Helps you breathe and keeps your mouth moist, because a lot of times in retail, your throat gets very dry. So, this gentleman was on the floor. He was not responsive. He was not breathing. So, unfortunately, the most difficult thing was there was no face mask, because it's one of those things that protects you from diseases. And I had no gloves, so I was basically going balls deep no matter what. So I went to this gentleman, mouth to mouth, and I gave him 2 breaths of life. And I started compressions. I did 5 compressions before my co-manager came in. She took over compressions, but he did respond before she came in. He responded to me, given like a huh, huh. That means his heart was trying. He was there, but he was trying. And after the 2 breaths, I know I had to leave that alone because I needed him to breathe. I needed him to get some breath. We got a soon emergency response man who came from the dentist's office. A poor guy, though. His mouth was so bloody. He came from the dentist's office. He couldn't do it, but I know I could. And he got the face mask. He had the airway flowing. And unfortunately, the most scariest part is when you see the guy that you're working on get shocked. That was scary, but every time he would I would cheer this guy on with all my heart. Because this could have been anybody's grandpa on the floor. And I'm getting a little emotional, sorry. But thinking back on it is basically a scary thought. And you think about your grandpa. And you think about how badly you want to save your grandpa. Unfortunately, my grandpa bless his heart, passed away. My grandpas, because I have no longer any more grandpas. I've lost them in 2006 and when I was more younger in 1995 is when I lost my other grandpa. And my mom's dad, basically he was my step grandpa, but he wanted me to call him grandpa. I prefer to just call him Phil, but unfortunately he passed away, and I only knew him for a year, but we got attached a little bit. And, yeah. This is like an emotional roller coaster right now. But we did manage to save his life. And he was in the ambulance, getting loaded up. He was breathing. He was breathing. He was stable and breathing. And then I got updates later on by the emergency response guy that he was stable, and they were moving him to the greenhouse, which means we saved his life. That was one of the most emotional thing I've ever gone through, and it's something I won't ever forget. And I'm kind of glad that I took the CPR class. I know I'm doing this because it's like all these emotions are going through. But that's what's happening in my neck of the woods. I finally getting the stuff taken care of, getting boxes set up. Gonna need a new couch, that's for sure, for my living room area. But this area is all set up. And it's super awesome that it is. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. And with my camera, hopefully it's angled right, because I have no clue if I am way over here or way over there, so I'm going to be editing this at the end of the video. But, yeah, this is what things are going on in my neck of the world. I'm hoping to start, like, a schedule for you guys, so, like, if I do start streaming of anything, but I want to finish, like, doing a character. If you guys haven't just seen, because when you do see this, I have tweeted out a new picture because I was testing out Sketchbook. This new program, I haven't really dampered it or anything like that. It looks pretty cool. I've never really like used it or anything really well. I basically drew freehand on my tablet here. That was super awesome. I love to draw. I love to game. It's like, city. But thank you guys so much for sticking around. Thanks for being the awesome spirits that I know. Thank you for haunting games like you don't know. And I will see you guys in the next video. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.